Taping. Now we're taping.
Now we're recording. Okay. So, oh no, she left the room. She'll come back to the room. Are they frozen?
Oh.
Yes, they are. Wow.
And the phone's ringing and all kinds of stuff. Hi. Try refreshing that because we shouldn't be.
I don't know.
Because hello?
Hello?
Hello? I see you
I see
now.
you.
Okay. Hi.
Shit.
We were just saying that we have storms and who knows what's gonna happen here. So we'll see what we can do.
Serious booming outside.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kim, you're back.
Right, because she came back. We did
Yay!
that. Yay!
Okay, so this is the last show we're gonna do on this couch. We've done all of our shows pretty much on this couch.
Mm-hmm.
All how many hours worth of shows?
Oh, let's see. 50. This would be 59 hours. Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Uh-huh. Here on
Hey,
this.
Angie.
Yay.
Here on
So,
this
yes,
couch
on this
mostly,
here couch.
and with like a couple variations, but other than that, this couch. Yes, this couch is going to a new home today.
Yes.
Our friend Nadine is coming to pick it up. It's funny because when we were saying, we're gonna get rid of a lot of our furniture and just and start out fresh when we move, and and they're like, oh, what are you gonna do with that? It's like, oh, we'll just do like a yard sale or something, and then all of a sudden. You would have thought that there was like a corpse and they were all vultures because then they just started picking at it, and which is great because then we don't have a lot of crap to sell.
It actually
and
made us really happy.
I prefer that than sitting outside in 90-degree heat.
I look bedraggled.
You look bedraggled. I look like I haven't slept in weeks.
And yes, we will be joining you on the West Coast, which we just realized meant that we'll be doing our show at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, which is funny because Paul's like, oh my God, this is going to be horrible. And I'm like, dude, we have to take the kids to school in the morning.
I don't care. It's still morning.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And we're sleeping in. That's right.
Yeah.
It's that morning stuff.
But since we've been doing it Friday noon forever now, I don't even know how long we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
59 hours worth. And plus the before people too, which we don't talk about.
Yeah, don't exist at all.
We don't exist. They don't exist.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yes, we're not changing our time.
No.
This is our time. Yay.
And the way that I figured, okay, I have this thing. I can't fall asleep until around 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been my sleep pattern forever. That after 3, I fall asleep. What?
I have hair problems. Sorry.
You have hair problems?
Yes. Go ahead.
So
I'm breathing.
one of the things that I end up doing is I stay up till 3 and I go to sleep because that's my normal cycle. I have tried everything to break it. I've gotten up really super early and it just doesn't happen. I mean, it is really, it's like it's embedded in me. And then I'm wondering, hey, if I go to the West Coast, maybe I'm just meant for the West Coast,
right.
Because then I'll go to sleep at midnight and that's fine, and that's like normal. But yeah, I'm really weird that way. It's like as soon as 3 starts hitting, then I start getting tired.
Right. So
Before
we're hoping West Coast time, her body has just always been set on West Coast time and it was never, calibrated here.
Yeah. Never meant
That's
for
what
her.
we're going for.
Yes. Even when I used to work like 100 hours a week, and when I mean 100 hours a week,
It's really 100 hours a week.
I think I'm being
sometimes
generous
I like to over that.
and I was on call 24/7, and even when I did all that, couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, I would literally do things like get up in the middle of the night, like 2-3 in the morning, get dressed, and go to work. To check on client, to check on, because it was a residential facility, so check on the staff, to check on the kids, and
Make sure the staff was actually there.
and not sleeping
Yeah.
and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and then having to hear people, oh, Miss Lee, I was just
Brushing my teeth.
brushing my teeth. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I got that one.
Yeah.
I was just brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
You were what?
Yeah. About 45 minutes.
45 minutes of brushing your teeth. I'm like,
And I think this woman only had like 4 teeth anyhow. So, yeah.
long stories. Long stories.
15 minutes per tooth.
That was what we said back then, because yeah, I wasn't her boss. I was just the clinical director, but she knew I can get her in trouble. Obviously. Yeah, she had no teeth. She was, oh, the good old days. You know, and that's one of the things that we're doing now. And yesterday our show got cut off because of the storms.
Yeah.
And the storms say, no, you could not keep talking. One of the things we were talking about in making the move, sponsored by America's Moving Services, was was the idea of saying goodbye. And last Sunday we had our going away party, and surprise to all of us.
Major surprise.
Because for him, I thought we were doing like a party because he got his MBA, and what ended up happening was that they had already planned a party for our surprise going away party. So we had lots of people there, and it was really nice. But one of the things that I made a point of was to say, you know, goodbye to people.
Yeah.
And that's something that we don't do as a whole, you know, in this society, that, you know, we always think, oh no, I'll see you again. And that not necessarily happened. I mean, I don't know if it's ever happened to any of you, but like when you say goodbye to someone and then something happens to them, that's happened to us.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's so important when you say goodbye to someone to really say goodbye and close things up. And so there was a lot of that happening. And, you know, one of the things that I think is really an amazing thing now, and I think that is so healthy now, is that we can stay in contact with people. You know, whereas before, like, you know, when you said goodbye at school, and, you know, you weren't going to ever see these people again. That's what you assumed, you would never see these people again. I mean, I graduated from grade school in 79. Yeah, start doing the math. And then high school in 83. And I thought I'd never see these people again.
Right.
Graduated from college in 86. And
if it wasn't for Facebook, you probably wouldn't have.
And I wouldn't have. But that's the thing, that we are in the heart of social media now. And I've reconnected with grade school friends, high school friends, college friends. And it's so neat that I can maintain that throughout my life. And we don't have to cut off from people. And we don't have to.
But either way, when you're saying goodbye,
you should always say goodbye.
right? Because one way or the other, the relationship is changing. I mean, if you're going, in our case, we're going away, so we're not going to see our friends the way we see them now. You know, I mean, Facebook is great and wonderful. It's not the same as, you know, them swinging on by or us swinging by or whatever. So.
But in the cases where they're not going to, like, you know, croak after we say
yeah,
goodbye.
Yeah.
We can maintain a relationship.
Right.
Whereas before, you know, you'd have to sit down and write a letter or get on the phone and pay $1 bazillion. Now you don't have to do that kind of stuff. And so the goodbyes are very different.
Right.
Now, you know, if you invest yourself, you can actually maintain relationships and stuff like that. So one of the things I wrote about this week was about cutoff, and it's so important that we understand how dangerous and how unhealthy it is to cut people out of your life.
Yeah.
You know, there's something called healthy closure. Okay. And then there's things called cutoff. Now, we tend to, and I say we as the general, you know, not just we, but I mean the royal we, tend to do things like, you know, okay, you hurt me, so I'm cutting you out of my life. You That's one way of handling it.
Mhm.
Or, in our families, we tend to do things like either you're like this, like you tend to do that. Good, I'm glad you're watching then, because and I'm glad you're here. So,
Yeah.
this is really unhealthy, super unhealthy. Okay, we tend to do things like, okay, you're a big pain in the. I'm not saying stick around in an abusive relationship.
No. No.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying. We tend to do things like, if I cut you out of my life, I'm going to be better for it.
Yeah. Let's get a little fundamentals here. You're always in relationship.
Right.
So even
in the cutoff, you are
you're
still
still
tied to that
Right.
person through that cutoff.
right.
Because you
And-
have issues and,
And
you
you
have
don't
unresolved.
want to be tied to them, and you don't want your relationship to be I don't speak to them. I have a lot of energy around that.
Right.
That becomes your relationship, and that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Because then now you've got the unhealthy relationship of anger.
Right. Of anger, right. We talk about, when, as a marriage and family therapist, one of the first things that we do when we are assessing a situation, clients, a couple, a family, is we look at their level of differentiation. When we're kids, we have a very low level of differentiation, obviously. We are part of a unit. We are part of this family. We are all bunched together, mommy and daddy and the kids. And this is how we are. No matter what kind of turmoil is going on in here or, how healthy it doesn't matter. We're all like this. As we grow up and we start okay, somebody keeps calling me. Oh, it's my dad. As we start actualizing and start, developing and becoming our own person,
Oh, okay.
this is when we start looking at how differentiated you are from your parents and from your family of origin. And in some families, they remain like this, where they're like what we call enmeshed. And this is where boundaries are really just, you either can't find them or they're really, flimsy, and, it's like everybody keeps the door open to the bathroom, and I'm not saying that as like that's a bad thing. I'm saying that as a metaphor to really, what the family is like, that everybody's in everybody's shit is really what enmeshment is. And it becomes really sick in the sense that, your relationships are too much. They take over things. Like if you get married, they're all up in your cheese and they're at your place all the time. Or, it's just gross. Or you can't get married because they can't approve of anybody. Because they're not willing to let anybody else into the system. That's enmeshment.
Like Little Britain and the lady who breastfeeds her.
Yeah. It's like breastfeeding till you're 30, that kind of thing. And then the opposite of that is cutoff. And in cutoff, you do things like, you're a bastard, I don't want to ever talk to you again. And then you cut them off. And you don't talk to them again. And you think you're better for it. But what it is that you kind of like cutting off a piece of you. This is not to say that staying within your family and staying within your family of origin is always a healthy thing. But there's certain, they're part of you, whether you like it or not. They define a part of you, whether you like it or not. And those issues don't get resolved in a vacuum. Even if it's something that you resolve them and in some way you communicate, you know what, you were a total dick, but I forgive you for that because I don't want to carry that with me anymore. But this relationship is going to be very limited because I can't have you violating my boundaries.
Right.
That's not cutting off. You're always open to the possibility of a healing. And the moment that you close yourself off to that is where you think, people start deluding themselves that, time heals all wounds. No, it doesn't. That's bullshit. Psychologically speaking, time does not heal all wounds. No, it just makes it really good to repress them where they pop out in other ways.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Time festers all wounds, very much
right.
so.
Yep.
It is, but it's very common for people to say things like that. Very
doing?
common.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
One of our half-naked children is here. Yes?
What? Come on. Scram. Out of here, guys.
I'm not going to eat. We've got 2 boys and a girl, and these boys eat.
Okay, grab something quickly and get out of here. You're interrupting.
Not while I drink. Anyway, so the reason why we bring this up is because as we say goodbye to a lot of people, there are some relationships that were unsettled, but we are always open to a healthy closure at some point. And in no way would we ever close that off. Oh, very much so. No. Please do not get me wrong. There are very abusive families out there. There are families that are very unhealthy out there. That it is better to keep your distance. However, it's the mindset.
Right.
Cutoff is a mindset of I never want to talk to you again.
Again, remember, you're still in relationship. So the question is, what relationship are you going to make?
Right.
You know, are you going to make an angry I never speak to you relationship? Or are you going to make a, you know what, I really just can't, this person in my life really can't be in my life. I'm not angry about it. We're just, different, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. The dad thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. And this is something that we need to know as adults. And you're very young, so you're kind of new at this adult thing. But you're going to figure out that being an adult is really just a name that we give somebody at a certain age. It really has nothing to do with maturity. It has nothing to do with being the bigger person. Moms and dads are like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
They could be very childish. Your father, for lack of a better word, is a child.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we talk about levels of differentiation. We talk about, it's really what it means is maturity. Being mature means a lot of things. And one of them is being able to say, you know what, I am me and you are you.
Right.
And these are situations that happened around us. But what you've done doesn't, I'm not going to take that personally.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's your stuff. That's a level of maturity that a lot of people don't have. Now, for your father to lump you into his ex-wife's issues, that's his level of immaturity. And you need to understand that that's not about you.
Right. Actually, this is a good example of the idea of what relationship you guys have.
Right.
Because he's cut you off. Okay? His relationship is an angry cutoff relationship.
Right.
Yours is not.
Right.
You're not cutting him off. Your relationship with him is, I love my dad. He's just, he's too angry. So he can't really communicate with me. It's sad.
As long as you maintain that it's not about you.
Right.
This is his issue.
Right.
Then you stay in the healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas he's going to stay in the unhealthy. Okay? And at the end of the day, it's only, you could only be healthy for yourself.
Right.
It's not like you can make everybody go to therapy. Okay? It's not like you can make everybody healthy. It would be nice if we could, but we can't.
Right.
So, as long as you deal with your own shit,
mm-hmm.
then you're good. As long as you could say, you know what? My dad has issues with my mom. Because he has issues with my mom, he's decided that we're part of that too.
Right.
Okay? That's his issue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to maintain that hopefully someday we can restore a healthy relationship, that we can create something better, not based on a divorce, but based on love and mutual respect. That's healthy. That is, I mean, and that's not to say, if my dad ever comes back into my life, I'm going to let him treat me like crap because I lived with my mom after the divorce, or because I said something he didn't like, or blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You maintain the possibility of being, you're open to a different thing, and open to, if this is going to get resolved, then great. As long as mutual respect, boundaries are honored, then you can love each other in a healthy way, not in a I owe you way.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Yes. And this all has to do with us saying a lot of goodbyes and a lot of closures and such.
It's very important to be able to say, you know what, you're really too unhealthy to be in my life. Okay? You need to get your shit together.
Right.
And, hopeful girl, yeah, there are many situations where you go, wow, you're just too much. You're welcome. Good luck to you. There are many situations where you say, you know what, you're just too unhealthy to have in my life. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to talk to you. That just means you're just way too unhealthy to have in my life.
Right.
I have a cousin like that.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up together. I mean, when I say together, I mean, she lived in my house for a long time while her and her sisters lived in my house for a long time. We went to school together, all sorts of stuff. But she's so unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And that, was it like a year ago, there was like a Facebook fight, which was hilarious because it was like, I said something to my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law and I are like this, and, she's like my sister and best friend. Shit. That's somebody I need to say goodbye to. Anyway, so I say something to her. We joke around a lot. This cousin, who I had told my sister-in-law, please don't have her as your friend, but she did, jumps in and just starts attacking me. Then I joke back because I don't want to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets really nasty. And then all of a sudden I get unhealthy. And it's like, I'll admit it because I got a temper. So, yes, it happens. So then,
and I still think that you did pretty well.
Yeah, but I still got a little base, and I shouldn't have done that, which I did apologize for. I mean, I struck back, not really hard, but but she just kept coming at me, and then she wrote me this long, direct message on Facebook. And I wrote her back, and I said things like, you know what, I'm sorry if I offended you. And then she just kept attacking me. And it was hilarious because I'd write back like this much, and then she would take like 3 words of what I wrote, that didn't make any sense out of context, like, you and things like that. And she would keep attacking me, and then she would write me back like that. And then finally I'm like, look, this isn't going to work because, you see, I'm not going to sit here and allow you to abuse me.
Effort.
Oh, yeah, totally. But, to be healthy about it, I did, I'm really sorry if you felt that I offended you. I apologize for using words that you found offensive. Okay? I cleared myself, in other words. It's like, I don't want this energy. I don't want you to have energy on me. I mean, I'd prefer if you don't even think about me. But I didn't say that. I just said, I'm really, really sorry, but I can't allow you to keep offending me.
Right.
I can't allow you to keep abusing me. It's like, I hope you get some help. And I had said that to her a few times, actually, in my responses. It's like, you're still ouching over grief that she had. I'm really sorry. I hope you get the help that you need to get past that and to learn to accept that and to live a healthier life. I'm here, but not to be abused. And that's how I left that. And then I blocked her ass because I'm not going to sit there and
Right.
keep taking the abuse. So, yeah, there is things that people you have to get out of your life because, level of health level of psychological health really determines how you're going to live your life. Do you want to live your life drama after drama, issue after issue? Then go have at it. Fight with people and get involved in people's crap and whatever. I choose not to live like that.
It has a lot to do with boundaries.
No. I don't see her at family parties because she lives very far away.
Yeah, we're good with that.
Yeah, and now that we're moving back to California, she doesn't live in California,
Right.
but her siblings do.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually very close to one of her siblings.
Yes.
So, but her sibling knows she's crazy.
Yeah.
So, she knows that I don't want anything to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
And she respects that, and that's cool.
And we'll see where
it goes.
Where things go.
And the thing is, that's the difference between cutting people off. I'm open at
Right.
some point. If she ever gets her shit together, I'm open to
Right.
having a relationship
See,
again.
this is basically, it's a boundary thing. I mean, what you're hearing Lee say is the boundary is you can't be crazy on me. Okay? I mean, however that looks. And
Basically.
a lot, but let's bottom line it. So, crazy on her, then they can have a relationship that is, predicated on not craziness.
Mutual respect and
Right.
love. And goes back to the same thing. And that goes with friendship, that goes with parents, that goes with
Right.
your siblings, that goes with everybody. I mean, you don't have to do this. I mean, you're a crazy person, get out of my life, don't ever talk to me again. Now, there are some people that medication would do wonders with.
Benefit, right?
But you can't make that happen. So because you can't
Unless
make that
you're a
happen.
doctor.
Oh, yeah. But if you can't make that happen, then you need to take care of yourself. See, that's the one thing that you need to learn. The first thing of order in, psychological health, you can't fix anybody.
Right.
And because you can't fix anybody,
You only
at
fix
some
you.
point, yeah, exactly. So at some point, you gotta just go, okay, I'm gonna be fixing myself. This is me fixing myself. Here's the boundary. Here it is, right here. Way over here. Way nice and far. Not even hugging distance from me. I can't have you get any closer to me because you like to hurt me. Okay? Or I feel, that's even more healthier to say that, I feel that when you are around me, that you feel that it's okay to hurt me.
Right.
And it's not. And you're very clear in your communication. Now, that doesn't mean that, you do one of those, hey, fuck you, I'm never going to talk to you again. That's you getting really base. That's, that's jumping into the drama with both feet. It's like, you don't need to go there. Now, sure, it feels good. Sure, it feels good to, tell someone to go F themselves and all that. I like it. I'm sure everybody else does. But it's not good for you.
Right.
It is not good for you. I don't know if, there's some people in my life that I have learned to forgive because I just don't want to carry it. And that's one of the things.
I feel that you should go after yourself. That's not good.
See, that's a nice way of putting it. Now,
Speaking from your feelings. Very good. Very good.
He would do wonders on you if you go fuck yourself. I've had to learn to forgive because I don't want to hold on to the hate.
Yes.
I've had to learn to forgive because I am better than holding on to that crap. If you get that.
Right.
And
I will not have anger and hate and hurt and all of those define me.
right. And we're not going to let cutoff define us either.
Right.
Some people just need to go get their shit together.
Yeah.
Go get it together.
Yes.
And we can make fun of, us hippie types who do therapy and stuff like that all you want to, but we're happy.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Right. The other people are just taking a time out
Yeah.
from my life.
Yeah. Until they get their shit together.
Right.
That's the way it works. So, that being said,
Yes.
now you know all about cutoff. Now you could all be marriage and family therapists and work your magic. But do this. Like look at your friends and look at the families of your friends and see which of them have cut off relationships, and you could see the more cut off relationships they have, the more unhealthier they are. And that is like cemented stone. You know that that's true. It's not healthy to do that. And it's also not healthy to be like this either. Be independent. Be your own person.
Mm-hmm.
See that? And thus is your lesson.
Yes.
But, okay. Aside from that, this week we wrote...
it's not even aside.
No, it's part of it.
It's part of it.
Because, one of the things that we do... One of the things that... Okay, I'm not, your typical white American. I'm Hispanic. And white people, growing up, white people were weird to us. We would say things like, oh no, that's what white people do. We don't do things like that. And I'm not saying it's a disparaging thing, it's just that we didn't understand things like that. We tend to, Hispanics tend to be more enmeshed. That's our way of doing things. We don't cut people off. Hell, oh, you're bleeding on me, that's fine, I'll carry you, because that's the kind of people that Hispanics tend to be. We don't, if people are getting cut off, it's because, in my case, they joined the Communist Party. That's a very different reason to get cut off. But one of the things we always found fascinating was how white people did things like, oh, they're 18, get out of the house.
Yeah.
Or, oh, they're in college now.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
We are actually hearing that about, Jeannie's friends.
Jeannie's friends have, and that's weird because some of them are Hispanic, which is really weird.
Yeah.
But, things like, oh, yeah, well, their parents, basically, she's 18 now, she's on her own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what do you mean she's on her own? She's like, oh, she's got to figure out her college stuff, and her parents aren't going to do anything, and her parents aren't going to give her any money or anything like that. And it's like, really?
Yeah, graduation present is luggage.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't even go to their graduation.
Yeah,
that was
things
one
like that.
family.
Yeah.
And we were like, no way.
Yeah.
And then we're like, hey, can we have their tickets? And then it was too late to get their tickets.
Different story.
Different story. Long story.
Yes.
Anyway, so one of the things I think that most people fear is when their kid goes to college is that how is this going to change their relationship? And it's going to change their relationship.
Of course.
Once they live on their own, once they taste that freedom, there will be changes.
And cognitively, we know that we want it to change.
Right.
But on that, emotional level, no, we don't.
Right.
We still want to be mommy and daddy who, and who are, in our case, our little girl always comes running back to us and, we can, and take care of her and that kind of stuff. But, we know we want her also to be, intelligent and mature and independent and all that kind of stuff, just not of us. It's that horrible disconnect.
Yes. But, anyway. So, we're running out of time. We have less than 50 days. I think it's... or is it? No, I think it's 52 days.
Really?
No, it's not. It's 48 days.
Yeah, that sounds better.
48, 47 days until we say goodbye to her at college.
Yeah.
So it's, how do you squeeze in everything you want to tell them before they go? Because there's going to be so many situations where, I look at her and I go, God, I wasn't that young when I went to college. I really wasn't. I was younger than her when I went to college, but maturity-wise, I was so different. I handled all my stuff. My mom and dad didn't handle any of my things by then. And even though I lived at home when I went to college, I was never there, so it's not like... And that was even to this day, my mother still brings that up, oh, when you were in college, you were trying to kill me because... She doesn't say those things anymore.
No.
Kind of wipe that out of her vocabulary. But one of the things that we want our daughter to know before she goes to college is the concept of that you don't need anybody to validate you.
Mm-hmm.
And, all of us go through this learning and
All of
awakening.
this is lessons that we want
Lessons
her
we
to,
want her to learn.
Yeah. Things we want her to remember or whatever.
I don't know about you, but, as a girl, and there tend to be more girls doing this than boys, you tend to get into a role of people pleasing.
Mm.
You people please to have friends, you people please to be liked, you people please to, to do anything. And when I was that age, I was a very big people pleaser, if you could believe that. And it was mainly for friendship, because I did have a weird, rough exterior where I was like, screw you people. But at the same time with my friends, I tended to be very people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so unhealthy. Such an unhealthy thing to do. Because then you... Oh. Ow.
Yeah, keep going.
Anyway, so the idea of you don't need to please anybody, just please yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need anybody to validate you.
Right.
If friends are using you, scrape them off.
That's kind of the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
Yes.
Number 9, one of the things that really bugs me is the whole concept of choosing majors and being a certain way, and that you've got to, this is who you are and this is going to be your career. Choose something. I've got a kid crying really hard.
Second, yeah, that's a tantrum cry.
That's a tantrum cry?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
they said no to him. He doesn't like that.
So, I look at my husband. My husband majored in physics. He's had... How many careers have we figured already? I don't know, like 7, 8 careers already. And I'm not saying that, he's a flake. It's just been like... He's gone where the jobs are, and he's like reinvented himself. So how many careers have you had so far?
I think I'm at 7.
You're at 7 right now?
Yeah.
Writer Man is 7?
Yeah. We're going to stop.
We're hopefully stopping at 7.
Yeah.
But, he got a degree in physics. He worked in
I'm
aerospace.
a Hamiltonian operator in many a movie.
Yeah. He worked in aerospace. He used to make rockets. He actually worked on the space shuttle, back in the day. And then
the Russians went away.
And then the Russians went away, and there weren't any bombs that we needed to do anymore. So his job went away. I mean, if you live in California, if you think about the late 80s, early 90s, when all the aerospace business went away, that's when he lost his job too. So from there, he went into teaching. What else do you do when you have degrees in physics and no calculus and chemistry and things like that? He went into teaching, and he did that for a long time. Well, he's not, he was a great teacher, but he wasn't a lifer. See? So, you have a degree in biology? I had no idea, Stephanie. So, then he went into teaching, tired of that, went into real estate after that because my family's in construction.
Pre-med? Really?
Wow. I was pre-med, and then, I went into psychology. And then God knows what happened to me. Those hippies got to me. See?
Real estate.
He went into real estate and construction because he's actually a licensed broker, general contractor, pool contractor.
Mm-hmm.
What else? That's it.
Yeah, real estate broker, pool contractor, and general contractor.
That's it. I was more impressed before.
Because remember, you've got the mortgage and the title.
Yeah. So, different lives, different, different reinventions. And I think that that's something that they forget to tell you in college. Mm-hmm. That you're picking out your life's path when you are the most tenderest of ages. And reinventing yourself is something that we do a minimum of 5 times in a lifetime.
Yes.
I mean, that That has been the number since 1980,
Right.
when the first, what color is your parachute came out.
Yeah, that is a pretty solid statistic.
I remember when I was in grad school, 1986, when I was in grad school, and we did the career counseling class. I wasn't getting career counseling. I was actually learning how to do career counseling. And, we had the What Color is Your Parachute book, which was already like in this 20th printing from the 70s. And that book said very clearly 5 careers, 5 different, very distinct careers. Now, in my case, I haven't done 5.
Yes and no. It really depends on how you.
No, not really.
Right.
Not really.
You taught at some point. You're
not
writing
distinct.
now.
Not distinct.
Yeah, there's always been for you. It might have been more distinct.
Yeah, I did things like, hey Lee, you're really good at taking a test. Can you take this test and get a license for me? Okay, but being like in it, not really.
Yeah, you did a couple years as a title person. You weren't doing no therapy in between then. I remember.
No, but I did that because I had little babies, and.
But that's still reinvent. I mean, the reasons are the reasons.
Yeah.
It does, and
I try not to think about it.
When you were working at the auto repair place.
Yeah, but I was doing counseling at night. That was for money. That was for money.
But this is, it's like
I wasn't fixing cars. I was handling the books for my parents. That was different. I was.
It was her. Yeah.
A hooker. Okay, you see, but that was part of my counseling lifestyle.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? God damn, it's hot in this house. Okay, Marie, be your own champion.
Yes. That's always been a big one for us to communicate to her.
One of the things that we don't. I think that's one of the things that we don't understand that parents do, is that they're constantly championing us. Like when they go in and talk to teachers, and when they go in, we don't get that as kids. And then all of a sudden when we're out there, we realize, wait a minute, who speaks for me?
Right.
Well, you do. And getting into the role of championing yourself comes in the same venue of learning how to interview and all that, and learning how to talk about yourself like, in the third person as if you were like this amazing thing.
Right.
So learning to do that. Not wallowing in, oh man, the world's going to be the world and life is going to life at you. Just get over it.
Yeah.
That's the
7-year-old is a good time to make it happen.
It's such an important thing, when's the first time you actually talk to your teacher to get that extra point? And say, hey man, I really deserve that. And that's championing. And that's how you teach your child to advocate for themselves. That's how you teach your child to create boundaries. And being your own champion is not a question. Oh, I just poked myself in the eye.
Oh, no.
It's not a question of being your own, tooting your own horn or all that we consider, things of arrogance. But I'm talking about I deserve, and
it's really just communicating.
Right. Your needs,
right.
Your
From a
needs.
position of I'm important.
Right. But not from a position of I'm entitled.
No.
But from I deserve this too.
Right.
So such an important concept to teach your kids. Yeah. To be able,
kind of a big concept.
That is like so huge, and to couch it in this list is kind of tough, but this is our last ditch effort, and we're telling our daughter, our daughter has her issues, and it's like, well, you realize that you can get these people, you can get the university to get you transcripts of the classes and things like that. Well, I don't need that. And it's just, oh my God. And then I know the day that she calls me and says, oh yeah, I got this now, I know that will be like one of the biggest days of her life, at least in my book. So, okay, because our daughter's a girl, this is a big one. Underwear.
I'll sit back for this one.
Yeah. The wonderful world of underwear. Okay, and we all know this, ladies. So let's speak frankly. We all have different kinds of underwear, and So I was explaining to our daughter not too long ago is that you want at least two kinds of underwear at all times. You want your comfy underwear, or your period panties as we like to call them, and you want your nice underwear. When you go on a first date, wear your ugly underwear. Simple.
And
You
why
know.
is that?
And why is that? Because you're less likely to take off your clothes. See? See, that's the difference between me and another kind of mom. I've got to be, okay, I've got an Asperger daughter. I don't have time to do this. Oh, well, she's going to make her own decision. No. I got to get really specific with her.
Yes.
You know, yeah, she's 18. Yeah, she's going to do whatever she wants to do and, whatever. But giving it up on the first date is not something anybody should be doing. So that's a good rule of thumb. And she's like, well, what underwear you're wearing. And the thing is, I always know what kind of underwear I'm wearing. Okay? I know what things don't catch me by surprise. How's that?
Yeah, exactly.
So be very specific, when you're choosing your underwear. And that's all I got to say about that. That's a great rule of thumb to tell any woman. You wear your nasty underwear, you're not getting laid that night.
We have
That's a good thing.
12 minutes to get through the rest of these, just just keeping us on time.
Okay, being fearless.
Mm-hmm.
As we get older, we stop being adventurous.
Yeah.
So you got to stop that. Cut that out.
Right.
College is a time to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I push this, and Paul pushes this. It's like if she can study abroad, go do it.
Yeah.
Adults don't get that, us old people, we don't get a chance to go, hey, why don't you spend a year in Europe? You don't get that chance anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Take it while you're there.
That's right.
While you're in college. Stick to a schedule.
Yeah.
That's so important. Especially, if you've been in college, that by the end of the week you're really tired.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of writing papers on Sunday night is really shitty.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Plus the fact that she's got to do her own laundry. Yeah. Oh, so let's see. Things always change.
Mm-hmm.
It might look really bleak, but they're always going to change.
Yeah.
What we think is really important really isn't.
Right. That's always the hazards of youth. Is everything seems very concrete and big.
Oh my God, this is going
yes.
to change my life. Well, some things are going to change your life, and some things are going to be like this big joke when you get older.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about when I was friends with somebody, and she was a total bitch, and I thought, oh my God, is this how it's going to be? And oh my God, my life. This girl went on I asked her to be in my wedding years later, and I actually kicked her out of our wedding before our wedding. When I realized, you know what? You're all about this negative shit, and I don't like that.
Right.
And then she was out of my wedding.
Yeah.
See? Growing up.
Yes.
Things
change.
Things change all the time.
Yes.
It always gets better. And that's the thing. It's like, that's one of the problems. That's one of the sad things about, the suicides and the gay teens committing suicide is because they can't see that.
I mean, that
And
is the
that is
idea of the videos
it gets better. It's because it does get better because you grow up.
Yeah.
You learn to assert yourself and you learn not to care.
Right. You learn that there are certain cultural lies that are built right in. That GPA. For example.
Nobody gives a shit about your GPA.
Yes.
And this is something I remember when I was in college. My sister was uber perfect in college, and I actually had fun in college. So, I'm telling her after. I kept telling her, I go, I don't think it really matters because when you have the paper, who's going to check your transcript? And that's really the bottom line. A 2.5 GPA and a 4.0 GPA doesn't mean shit. However, the 2.5 is going to be a lot funner and probably be a better interviewer than you are. Because they have a lot more social experience and they have a lot more ability to be able to talk to each other. As long as you're learning the subject matter, getting that A And breaking your butt and getting that A doesn't mean shit.
In this world where everybody is in sales, no matter what your job is,
exactly.
You know,
work on your EQ instead of your
exactly.
IQ. Work on your ability to relate to people, to work in groups. These are all things that they don't bother telling you. They always tell you, oh no, that grade is so important. Your ability to work in a group, your ability to work with other people, your ability to communicate what you want to other people effectively is more important than an A.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that.
Yes.
Always know your balance.
Yes.
Psychologically balanced, physically balanced, and your bank account.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things we forget when we're in college. You know, like, how much money do I really have?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into a situation you're like, shit, I don't have enough money.
Oddly enough, all three of those are related.
All of those are related. If you have balance in your life, then you'll know what your balance is in the bank.
Exactly.
You know, don't spend more than you have. That means energy.
Mm-hmm.
That means money.
You're right.
That means, psychological wherewithal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you're in a relationship and you're giving way more than the other person,
You're out of balance.
So, always know your balance.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it even. Okay. Never be a victim. Now, I know. That's a big one. That's a tall one.
This is, another
That's
one of
a
those.
big,
We could
tall,
spend maybe
big,
a whole show on
or
that.
3.
All right.
You know, our daughter, because we were really lucky, got to do some training, got to do some therapy. So she understands the whole victim thing and how that works and getting triangulated, because that's a big one
Right.
that we don't really talk about. Victimhood always comes in triangulation.
Mm-hmm.
When you're brought into somebody's drama, you're getting triangulated. Even if it's something like, here's my boyfriend, here's the world who he thinks is abusing him,
Right.
and here's you. You have to sit there and listen to him talk shit about the world.
Right.
You're getting
Using that
triangulated.
triangulation.
Okay? Oh yeah, my boss is really an asshole, blah, blah, blah. And you have to sit there and you have to listen to that. And you have to be around his bad mood. And the only reason why we're fighting is because I'm in a bad mood, blah, blah, blah. You're getting triangulated.
7 minutes, dude. Scram.
So, staying out of that, not being part of that, knowing where you begin and they end, having your boundaries will help you avoid being a victim.
And a lot of it, this is very mental. Because, think about the rape training things. The first thing that they teach you on how not to be raped is...
Not to be a victim.
Right. Walk like you're not going to get raped.
Exactly.
Walk like you're not a victim.
Yeah.
Look like you're not a victim.
Right.
Make eye contact. Things of that sort. It's
walk hard.
Walk hard.
That's one of the things that
Walk hard, walk tall.
yeah, that's one of the things as women, we're really not taught to do that. And I'm telling Jeannie, you never go into a parking structure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you can't drive, you don't need to go into one.
Yeah, right.
If your friend needs to go get something from her car or whatever, have at it. You go. You don't need to go with her or him or whatever. You don't go to parking structures. And talking that way to girls and teaching them. It's like when you're walking and you hold your keys in your hand. These are things that you learn as you get older. My mother never bothered to tell me these things. Okay? And you realize, okay, when I walk with my keys in my hand, one, I feel prepared.
Right.
When you're walking and you feel prepared, then you look and you emanate a different aura. Mm-hmm. Okay? You're not anybody's victim.
Right. Yeah.
So,
that
important
fantasy
things.
of, I will kill your ass if you get near me, goes a long way.
I'm going to go all spider monkey on
yes,
you if you get near me.
A long way.
It's like, I want to know how far I can stick my key into you.
Right.
Will go a long way.
Yep.
That's how we teach our kids. I am schwitzing.
Yes.
On
That is
camera.
it's a mental state.
Right.
It's not just the physical, but it's the whole thing.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And then last but not least, you could always come home.
Yep.
That's one of the problems I think that we have is that when we say things like, oh, you can always come home, it's this boundaryless kind of concept. That, yes, you can come home, but that isn't to abuse us
Mm-hmm.
or
Right.
abuse that privilege.
Mm-hmm.
You can come home and be part of the family,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't get to come home and be pissed because you're home.
Right.
You know, when we tell her you can come home, it's like with love and acceptance, and unconditional love and
Mhm.
acceptance, but not to sit there and give us crap because you wish you were with your friends.
Right.
I don't think so.
And it's also that's, you can never screw up so bad that we're not going to love you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to take the screw up and go, okay, let's you need to fix that. Okay. Living with us for the rest of your life kind of thing. It's like, no, that invitation's not necessarily there.
Right.
No. But oddly enough, we probably always have a room for you. You know?
It's like visiting is nice,
Mhm.
but forever visiting, not so much.
And that's just because, I don't think it would be healthy for the
Her.
whole family, for her.
Or for us.
Yeah.
Yes. So those are her 10 things. Now, being that she's moody right now, I don't know what she thinks of those 10 things.
I don't think that.
I know that she read them. All I know is that, I read them.
Yeah.
But-
She got a good mood going on today.
And I understand. I mean, she knows we are really close to being done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And packing.
We all have a little mood going on. I have to admit that.
I'm fine. Even though I'm bright red and having
Yes.
issues keeping my temperature at one.
Let's see. Maybe the AC is not doing
Yeah, it's not
whatever
just the
supposed
AC.
to.
My personal AC is all fucked up too.
Not good.
But anyway. So yeah, we only have a few more days left in our house. The same house we've lived in for 16 years. The same house that basically she grew up in. The house that the boys were made in and born in. And, well, they weren't born here, but
AC's frozen.
here, turn on the fan then.
Why?
Oh, just turn on the fan. They don't mind.
Yay.
I don't mind. I don't mind. So anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, and I must admit, the physical emptiness is, a big indication of we're not going to be here in this house much longer.
Yeah.
So,
And actually, this is the last show that we're going to be doing in this house.
really?
Yeah, because next week we're not doing a show.
Oh, okay.
Next week I'm taking her and her friends to Orlando. This will be their last hurrah
Mm-hmm.
before they all go off in their separate ways.
Right.
So yeah, next
And
week
then
there
the
is no
following
show.
week we will be out of here.
Yeah, and by the following week, that's the 15th, and that's actually Harry Potter Day.
Oh.
So we're very excited about that. But we'll be at my brother's house for the next, once we get out of here. So yeah, by the time you see us, we'll be at somebody else's house.
Yep.
We're gonna live with our brother, my brother,
Mhm.
or our brother. That's gross.
Yeah.
My brother for a couple of weeks before we get out of here. So
And we're going to miss them a lot. So I had promised that I'm going to take a dump in the middle of their kitchen floor and that kind of stuff to make sure that they don't miss me.
I don't think they're gonna miss him much.
No.
No, they'll miss me
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna do that, and I ain't cleaning up after you either. So
See, that's why they won't miss you because of that.
have a lovely 4th of July, everybody.
Yes.
You're all fireworks in my book.
Yay.
I love you all. See you in a couple weeks.